G'day and welcome to the Inforunners. I'm Execute. Today we're doing a short and sweet episode as we get prepared for the AIE. I'm joined today by Algared. It's actually 11 p.m. as we record this, so it's fairly late for us. But we thought we've been having a look at the Redeemer, and it's everything that we had hoped it would be, especially at this early stage. And so I thought we'd get in game and have a fly around and just show you guys maybe some a bit of the power of what it does and some of the cool things we've found. So yeah. I'll kick it straight into game, Algared, and we'll go from there, huh?
Yeah.
So here's Algared in hobo style.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, we're in the back. We're going to probably fall over here because he's about to warp. But I'm going to stand in the cargo thing so I don't fall over. But I do think this is a good little spot actually because it reminds me of the Tanner, the handiness of that.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah. Nice living quarters down here, and the ability to actually also swap the this segment out later, hopefully for some things like drop pods and stuff like that. 4 beds for the crew. It's the first ship that's actually got
four lockers.
Yeah, it's actually the first one that's got a working kitchen, but the food doesn't work too well at the moment. As you can see, it gets chucked everywhere, just like us at the moment. So yeah, you got some working foot storage as well. As you can see, you gotta be really careful. You gotta press no, it's not gonna let me do it. You gotta press just the button, or it comes out. Yeah, so wardrobes and stuff here as well,
which will be great for storing equipment and armor and stuff. Which is in the new age of having everything that you want to carry with you on your ship or on your person. It is a very important thing to have those hangers.
Yeah. We've also got mood lighting, as you can see, 3 different states, like the attack state and I don't know. I don't want to call the other one, but it's just kind of like sleep lighting, I guess. And then if you click that one, it kind of goes back to normal. Or it's just going to make a liar out of me. Why not? All right, let's head upstairs real quick. We only want to do this quickly because, you know, I don't want to be too long-winded with this stuff. Nice gun rack with an actual opening door. First one of those I've seen, so I don't know if that's going to ever have some lock thing to it, but that'd be kind of cool. Probably the biggest change from the grey box is this room here. This was actually a circle, and they've made it square, and the advantage of that is it's lost a bit of the bulge on the outside, which is kind of cool. Making it more sleek like its original design. We've actually got a whole bunch of components in here. These are actually, if you go outside the ship at the back, if we ever land, I'll quickly show you that. But on the other side of this wall, it actually says component access. So somehow all these components get sucked out the back of the ship for maintenance purposes. So yeah. Then we've got the engine room with the bottom turret access. You've got the back turret remote or front turret remote access, and the back turret remote access. If I get in one of these real quickly, I can give you an outside view and just show you what the hell I'm talking about. And I've got to press this button. No, wrong button. I always forget how to do this. Here we go. So you got a turret here under the back of the tail, and then this camera view is not going to work that well. And your 2 main turrets. I'll actually get out and get in a main turret because that's not going to work. Yeah. Cal's our pilot today, so we thank him for flying us around. Not Carl. Sorry, my bad. Terrible. All right, get in this bottom turret here, Algared. So if you use this little orange panel here on the side, this animation's a little whiffy, as you'll see when Algared gets in. It's not working the best at the moment. It kind of, his character might do some weird things. We'll see. Well, no, it's working quite well actually. Might be different from Algared's perspective, but it's a very interesting turret because it's almost got like horse blinders, so you can't see to your left and right. But the size 5s on it more than make up for those, which we're about to show you now.
That's kind of a little bit of balance, isn't it? It's the can't really see your peripheral vision or what's coming up, so you got to rely on your pilot, I suppose.
But I think it's the 3rd unique type of turret we've seen from Aegis, which is kind of interesting as well. So there's been a few different ones. So QRBX for future reference. Anyone that knows how to see turret up, they're the keys you got to press. All right, can you take us to that quest, please, Ken, and we'll show people how this works. Now, I did have Galderines on this, and we respawned it, and it came back with one gun on each turret. And so I quickly, when I was at Port Alisar, the only size 5s they had were cannons. So we've quickly just chucked cannons on this for the video, but they'll still do enough damage. They do fire probably almost as half as fast, though. So, and yeah, I think the Galderines have like 50 shots. These only have 25. So yeah, but we'll see how the damage makes up for it. As we fly in here, one of the really unique things is as you speed up, the pliers actually open and close, which is kind of really cool. Yeah, you can see this back turret. If I can get rid of the sun, it's tacked up in there. That actually extends out, and the one at the front actually takes control of the pilots here. I actually get some weird shape language of the Carrack off this ship, Algared. If you don't look at the engines and just look at the middle part, I don't know if you get that as well, but they also
at certain angles, I actually thought it looked like the believe it or not, the
right.
Prowler.
Let's take this guy out, Algared. Should be able to start firing at about 4.5 Ks. Oh, no, there we go, 5 Ks. These are, they're cannons. That's why they're cannons. So yeah, the advantage there is you can shoot sooner. I don't know how these are going to go. Yep, they went just as well. We actually made contact there, which is pretty funny. But yeah, we've had, what ships were they? Valkyries, and they haven't even been able to get past us in one pass, which has been kind of interesting. I'm targeting Jerry. That's a Buccaneer. These are actually, it's funny, the ships that are actually harder to kill in this. The Buccaneers and Hurricanes have been harder to kill than Valkyries. And I think that's partially just to do with their speed.
Yep. A bit like the how the Ares is really weak against fighters in terms of, once they're getting close, the faster ships are going to be harder for the slower firing cannons or to hit. And I think that's a nice balancy type aspect.
Yep. Oh, you dropped target here. But yeah, I was flying with Henkin yesterday. If anyone knows Henkin on Twitch, Henkin_SC, and yeah, he was just, the expression on his face kind of pretty much said it all. Like, he was kind of blown away by how powerful they were. And I knew how powerful it was going to be because of the Reclaimer, but like, yeah, it's exceeded my expectations. I think my biggest critique is it does handle a little sluggish. It is a little hard to keep things on target when you're the pilot. I wish it was just a little bit more. Some of the smaller ships can just outturn you a lot, and it's a bit annoying, but maybe that's a part of the balance, as you were saying. But yeah, overall, I'm really impressed. It hasn't had the nerves. Algared, can you do me a favor and just, I'm going to do it on mine. Yep. I'm going to look up. Can you put your turret and make it look down? That just kind of shows you a ridiculous, like how ridiculously big. Oh wait, so I can get the right spot. There we go. I'll do it from the other side. So yeah, yeah. And Algared, you don't have any problem there looking down, do you? Because when you look down in the turret, it actually goes past them. Yeah, there you go. It actually goes past it. It's not like the MSR or something where the MSR you feel like you're shooting in a donut because you can't look directly down. But that's kind of crazy. Like the guns when they aim up are almost as high as the ship itself, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. And there's that really cool animation as he speeds up with the pliers. Sorry, Algared, you gonna say?
I was just making the comment about the guns. The bigger guns, you expect them to be slower. You expect them to have difficulty targeting the smaller targets. This is really I think if you're using the bigger guns, you are really trying to get things at range rather than close if you're doing fighters. But against a larger ship, the size 5s will cause all manner of grief, I think.
I almost had a chance to run this up against a hammerhead yesterday, but someone got a bit greedy and killed the hammerhead before I got there. But I am actually sneakily suspecting if you can put longer range, almost like these cannons, and stay at the range of the hammerhead, I think it's going to be quite a troublesome ship for the hammerhead itself.
Well, I have heard that hammerheads. I know they were talking about the areas that were taking out hammerheads and constellations in seconds. So
yep. The interesting thing about, I'd have to say the iron is the superior of the two, as we originally said. But because you can especially against AI, you can be so far away from them that they won't, like, even though you're shooting them, they won't move because you're not in that trigger range. So, from a bounty hunting perspective and just having the reset, you make a fair bit of money on it there as well. So
Yeah, I think that's probably true. And certainly, like, if you're like me and you can't shoot for quids, then the iron is really good because you fire your targets and then you just recharge. Whereas with the Inferno, 2,000 bullets, and I'm running out in seconds. So
yeah, some of the military guys were saying they're not too happy with the spread on the Inferno either. So yeah, but yeah, really happy with the Redeemer. Highly recommend you get a CCU if you can, because I think at very least it's going to go up $50. I still think though, because of the size and the guns and the power of it, and when it goes into the game, I think it'll quickly become a meta, especially in a crew sense, because it just does so much damage, as it should, when all it is a gunship. That's all it does. It's just guns. It doesn't do anything else.
And
very small cargo that'll probably be bullets, honestly.
But I think the thing that makes this a great ship is the fact that it's got a small crew. So
yeah,
will it be as, is it as good as a hammerhead for a large crew? No. If you've got a full crew, then having a hammerhead might be the way you want to go, or go two of these. But certainly if you've got, two people to be able to take the big turrets, then this is probably the better ship to have. Three people, big ship. You've got four. You've got that chin mount as well. So
I don't think we've seen the full possibilities of this ship yet either. The really interesting thing is it scales. It can actually hold 9 people right now with the jump seats and someone in every single turret. And that's kind of surprising. And when we see the other modules come online, this ship's going to go to a different level again. Very good in the game right now. And you don't see that a lot. A ship that's good right now and will be good at endgame, so to speak. They're all going to kind of lose a bit, but this ship seems to see it's like it's going to gain some stuff when those modules come online. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think the game, like when we get things like life support, you'll find it won't. Having 9 people will probably not be as good as it could be.
Yeah. 100%.
Because those 4 jump seats really are made for the crew. Because if you look at the ship in its current configuration, apart from the crew stations, there's no place for the crew to sit.
Yeah.
So those 4 jump seats are really the lounge for the crew to relax. You almost need a pull-down table so they can play cards or put their plate of food or their drink for they get from the galley.
It's more of a stand-up kitchen, isn't it? It's not. Not really a. It's not a very livable place. It's a bare essentials.
It's certainly not. You make your food in downstairs, and then you have to climb a ladder with your food and sit in your seat in the lounge to eat, or you stand down in the kitchen and munch on it.
So
and then sit in your jump seat when you've got indigestion.
Just because I was trying to show this before. So that's you can see there above the main door. You can probably just make it out. Well, I can make it out of my screen. I don't know if you guys can because of video and stuff, but just above the door there, you can see it says component access. So that folds out and the components come out. I've seen a couple other content creators saying they're not sure if the beds are escape pods, but you can see there it says escape pods 3 and 4 on the hatch. And if you go onto the other side, it says 1 and 2. So yeah, they are most definitely escape pods, just like the Vanguard and the Constellation and a few other ships.
The other thing I do like about this is the chin turret is a remote turret which you have someone to use. If that's powered down from the remote station, the pilot gets control of it.
Yeah.
When it's powered up, the pilot doesn't have control, and so
you get
a really nice dynamic of player and pilot being able to interact. And
we had a weird bug earlier today. Can was flying and I was in the nose turret and I could move it, but I couldn't fire it, but he could fire it. So I was aiming it and he was firing it. It was a weird bug, but it worked quite well. All right, then. I think we'll kind of wrap that one up there. And as I said, short and sweet from Algared and myself today. Yeah, just wanted to give you our impressions on that one. We are kind of resting up a little bit for AIE next week. I'm already feeling the effects of moving my body clock around, but we'll see how that pans out. Let us know your thoughts on the Redeemer. The PTU is open for everyone. So you can jump on, and I guarantee you, if you ask someone, can I look at a Redeemer or an Ares, they will jump at the chance to show you. And so, yeah, feel free to download. I've heard very differing reports of the size of it, somewhere between 2 to 6 gig, but that'll allow you to jump in and take a look at the new ships. And as 3.15 goes, they're the more exciting part I've been looking forward to.
But the other thing, when you do, if you're in a PTU patch, when it goes live, if you copy that patch across into your live, it's generally a very short download to get the live when you do that. So
that's a good point, Algared.
Going into PTU is not necessarily a bad thing.
You can actually copy the live server and change it to PTU and do the same thing. So that'll allow you to do that. All right.
And it saves you download time. So
yeah. So let's know your thoughts on the Redeemer. What you think of it. I've heard a lot of people complaining about how overpowered it is, but you do have to remember all it has is guns, and it is, you know, if you kind of look at what it does compared to the other ships at that price point, it doesn't offer anything else other than guns and 2 SCU of cargo. So put it up against, say, something like a Constellation or a Caterpillar, and it really has given up a lot to get those extra guns. I do think it is a mini Hammerhead, and I do think it will kill Hammerheads, believe it or not. And I do think, even like they mentioned in ISC this week, that the Hammerhead is getting some form of buff. And also, you've got to take into account, we don't have armor in the game yet. I think the Hammerhead will be a tank compared to most ships in the game. And this does not have that armor. It's just shields.
Yep. And I think that's where you'll see the difference. And ships like the Ares will probably, you know, at range might be the bane of this ship as well.
Yep.
With those size 7 guns. But again, once you get in close with an Ares, once you close the range on the Ares, you go, oh crap.
And just, I didn't really want to make this a video about the Ares, but also that's the other thing. Like a lot of people complaining about the Inferno. The Inferno has extra armor, but you just don't. Again, you can't see that at the moment in the game, so we'll have to wait and see. Again, sorry if this video has been a little bit choppy, because I'm doing it on the one PC as I'm getting that dual PC up and running, but we'll be doing more videos like this in the future. Hopefully I want to do all the AIEs in game this year if we can, and I should have that up and running by then. I've just lost Algared on the camera again, so I think we'll call it there. He's having a bit of issues today, but it's all good.
Yeah, all right, I'm having camera issues. I'm not even going to try and get back. It's a nightmare. So.
That's all right. So yeah, like, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts on the Redeemer, and we look forward to seeing you next week for the AIE. Space Tomato should be the first cab off the rank, so me and Space Tomato will be there for the first day with Anvil. All right, I'll look forward to seeing you next week. He's been Algared, I've been Execute, and Cam, thank you for flying today, and we'll catch you in the next one. See you, everyone.
Take care.